But um, I want to make this point about the black agenda.
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Pierre's up here. Pierre. Okay. Okay. You on? Okay.
Hi.
Let's go. Yeah.
So I thought that the number one issue being education is an important issue. But this is the thing. I think that people forgot that when you have a child, you're supposed to invest your time and energy into your child. So it's not about getting government assistance with your child. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your child isn't supposed to be a paycheck. However, if you need help, you're supposed to get assistance from the government. The incentive for you as a parent should be to bring in a very well-rounded, educated, inspiring person, human being into the world. That's the incentive. That should be the incentive. I don't understand where people are trying to make paychecks off of their kids. Kids aren't a bag. They're not in this world to be a bag for you. You're supposed to be the bag for the child. You're bringing a child into this world because you're supposed to nurture, love, educate, and create an environment for your child that is conducive to making a great, inspired human being for the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but what is so wrong with creating an incentive if a person makes a A and the system
Well,
sees that?
I don't think the incentive should be for the parent. I think it should be for the child. And no child that's a toddler is going to care about money. Okay.
I'm not really talking about the toddler. I'm talking about somebody of school age.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a perfect example. Yeah, because kids get motivated. Like even my kids, my kids would do stuff for my dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if my dad asked them, okay, can you do this? Say it was pick up some like say the wind blew and trash blew into the yard or whatever the case may be, right? Or maybe it's doing dishes, whatever the case may be. The
Right.
incentive is it's like, kids always have been motivated to make money because they like to buy things, right? When they're old enough. Like any child up above 5 years old likes to buy candy, they like to buy toys, they like to buy things, right? So if they
Right.
get what do you call it when you get money for the week? Allowance. So that's a motivating factor. Can the schools do that? Yeah, they could do something like that as well. So if the child gets all straight A's and you give them an amount of money for every straight A, yes, that's an incentive. That's not a bad idea. You have a good idea. However, for a parent, the parent shouldn't get the money. The incentive for a parent should to make sure that they're bringing children into this world that are very well loved and purposeful. The parenting should be purposeful for the child.
You know
They
what?
should be wanting to do these things for their children because they love their children.
You know what, Pierre? I'm going to have to modify my stance
Okay.
because no, what you just said made me realize, yeah, that might work better for if you supply the student, the child, the school age person in the monetary part rather than the parent.
I mean, the government could set up for each student a bank account that could be accessed at, I don't know, an older age. Like say it's like, how you have a retirement. Adults
Hmm.
have retirement, right?
Right, right,
So
like a 401k type thing.
it's like a 401k. However, it's for good grades. It's for a child that excels in school, excels in his educational environment, and it doesn't matter if the child is a homeschool. It could be a child that's homeschooled as well. So if the parent is homeschooling the child, the government this all takes a government that actually cares about what they're producing for citizens. So if they really care what they want, instead of having a from birth to the prison industrial complex, instead of putting into that, instead of doing that, hoping that these children go to prison, they should be hoping that these children are the future scientists, doctors, lawyers, and judges and politicians that actually are going to be good for the nation in the future. So if you really invest in the child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give them a 401k. Let them start out. Give them money. Give them personal money. Yes, just like if you work a job, you have personal money. You're able to use your money to pay whatever you want with, but also give the incentive. Give them money that's put away like a 401k, so that when they do go to college and they need it, they can fall back on it, and or use it after they get out of college.
You know, Pierre, you really made me modify what everything you said was very close to what I'm saying, but yours make more
A
tangible
parent
sense.
shouldn't be a parent shouldn't be blessed with money just because their child is getting good grades. That's the child's effort. They're supposed to be wanting their child to be educated. The incentive should be for the child, for the student.
Because the thing is, though, I even when I was growing up, right?
Mhm.
I remember, and I'm not talking about myself, but
Mhm.
I remember seeing people, the only meal they get is at school. They don't get no
That's
meals.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
me and another lady were talking, one of my clients, and we were talking about when we went to school. Because I'm 54. Okay.
mm-hmm,
So when I went to school, when I was in elementary school, junior high school, we had hot meals. We
right.
had meals with like meatloaf, vegetables, steamed carrots, um, mashed potatoes, gravy. We had actual meals. We didn't get sodas. Like these kids nowadays, they get sodas. We didn't get sodas. We did get like apple juice and milk. Okay. Things like that. These kids don't get that kind of thing. And if they're at home with a parent that is not providing for them, and that's unfortunate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're at home and they're not getting a meal, it's so very, very important for them to have the meal at school. If they get I mean, they should be able to get a breakfast and a lunch. And if they can't get food at home, and if there needs to be a program, this is why I'm saying investing in children and stop investing in the prison system. So after they get off school, send them home with sandwiches, or carrot sticks, celery sticks, whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get 3 meals a day, because no child should be having less than 3 meals a day. Absolutely not. They should be having hot meals for lunch. And if when they get off of school and they know that if they've talked to their counselors and their counselors know that the situation at home is not very conducive to having meals, then send them home with sandwiches and things like that to go home and eat for dinner. But we aren't a country that cares. You got people that don't care about the socialist system, and that is a socialist program. That would be a socialist program, but do we care? Do we want to invest in children like that? So when it comes to programs, right? We used to take field trips. We took field trips to different businesses, like like a bread factory, or places that made certain things, or zoos, or whatever, right? And you got to see
Mm-hmm.
people interacting on their jobs. Kids never see that. They never see that. One kid said they went to a farm one time, right? So this was like a test program. They took a bunch of kids, inner city kids, to a farm, and they picked potatoes out of the ground. Do you know these kids could not associate those potatoes to the French fries that they ate at school?
Right.
This is what I'm telling you. There's no investing in children, and it's unfortunate. And I'm sorry, but the first step for education comes from the house, the home. Like,
I
I'm
get.
going to tell you, my daughter and my son-in-law read to my grandson every night before he goes to bed. They read to him when he wakes up in the morning. They read books to him, and I'm not talking about one or two. They read like 5 books to him each morning, each evening. Not only that, he has a tutor, and not only that, everybody that's around him educates him. He knows more than a 6-year-old in school. He knows more than them, and he's not even 2 yet. But it's
Right.
got to be people that want to have. You have to purposefully have children and bring children into this world that you love and that you want to nurture and that you want to create a great human being. You have to bring them into this world knowing that you want them to be a great human being. Unfortunately, that's not what society is doing.
Yeah, because I remember during the academic, right, and
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, and even last year, the schools were closed down, but they like they still told the children. This
Mm-hmm.
happened in San Antonio. Well, San Antonio did the news, but also at the school where like my nephew and niece goes to, right?
Mm-hmm.
They set up tables out and they was feeding the children, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and they
well,
should, and they should.
yeah, and as it should. But the thing is though, like just like what somebody told me. Listen, that's probably the only meal that some of those children get.
Do you know how
That's
sad that is? I mean, that breaks my heart. I'm gonna be honest
right.
with you. We used to have even though I don't believe in organized religion, but we used to have something called Vacation Bible Study. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
So in the summertime, when you were out of school, you would go to Vacation Bible Study. You would get little sandwiches and cookies and Kool-Aid. I know Kool-Aid ain't good for you, but back then it
Yeah.
was Kool-Aid. And you sat outside in the grass and read Bible stories, like kids' Bible stories, right?
Yeah, I was in few of I spent like two Bibles, vacation Bibles. Yeah, it was kind
Yeah,
of
you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah,
Because you're from the South. I know you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah. I sure do. Yeah,
So instead of a vacation Bible study, why are we not having things like that, where when these kids in the summertime have activities like that, where grown adults read really nice books, educational books that are interesting for these children. Let them take and pick books. Each child pick a book, not a book that's super long to read, but maybe 20 pages, right?
right.
Why can't an adult sit up and read books to these young kids? I'm talking about kids under the ages of 5, 6, we'll say under the ages of 7. Why
Hmm.
can't an adult or several adults sit out there, make meals, make treats, let them run, get their energy out, hop, skip, jump rope, whatever the case may be, listen to music, dance a little, and read books to them? Do you know how nurturing it is for somebody to do that as an adult for a child?
Hmm. Hmm.
How long does it actually take for you to read something to a child? It's like it might take you an hour to read. Each child pick a book that they want to have read to them. If they're not at the point, make the words big enough in the book that each child can follow along and read. So not only are they getting read to, but they're also learning the words from the book as small children. These are little things.
Hmm.
These are social programs that would be so beneficial to children, but we aren't putting in the time and the effort to raise children anymore. We
Right.
don't care anymore. That's a problem. And these kids understand it and they feel it. So when they get up and they're antisocial, whose fault is it that these kids are antisocial?
The parents.
Not just the parents,
It's
the
society
school
too.
system, and society. Because
Yeah.
you're making children be antisocial. You're putting them on electronic devices, and they're not interacting, speaking, talking, laughing, joking with other human beings. What's going to happen in the future? We're going to have a whole society of antisocial children who are murderers, who are going to do all kinds of stuff. So instead of investing in prisons in the future, why not be investing in these small children now?
Because it's like what Joe Neckbone said. Well, they it create. See, Joe Neckbone put it out there one time, and me and him had this conversation about this like months ago. He said it would add more of a, it would make more sense to do that because you create a more pillars of society, or more people
Exactly.
who can, well, he was putting it in a more selfish terms. Not I'm not talking about him being selfish, I'm talking about selfish for the government. That would be a more tax base, to be expanding more tax base for more money to be pumped into the government, rather than
Let me
killing
just say
somebody
this.
who don't get no
It's
tax.
the
That's what
the
you getting at.
benefit and the money that the government gets back later is that you're going to have well-rounded people that become adults that don't have mental illnesses and social awkwardness and problems, people that can go into the work industry and be whole human beings. Somebody
Right,
you don't have to worry about coming in, shooting up the whole fucking office. People that you know are going to put back into the system as adults, right?
right.
So why are we not making the investment now?
Because though, well, because we don't care about each other like that, and we are more of a selfish society, and we believe in this the right left paradigm so much that we don't want to venture outside of our comfort zones, and do something bold and different. Everybody want to wag their fingers and say socialist, or somebody want to wag their finger and say you're a feminist, and somebody want to wag their finger and say you're this and that and
I
all that
mean, you
stupid
can be
nonsense.
you can be a feminist, and still go and read books to small children. Like
Right,
there's
right.
you don't have to be a one-faceted human being. There's multifacets to a human being. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
feminist, but I have a lot of other beliefs as well
Mm-hmm.
that would
Mm-hmm.
be deemed as being anti-feminist to certain feminists,
Right.
because I believe in a better whole society, men and women both together. So I'm not a type of feminist that is anti-men at all.
Yeah, but
I want I want there to
you
be
let
a
them tell it. You let them tell it. They'll tell you hate men and all that stupid
but you
shit.
know you know differently. For God's sake,
Yeah,
you talk
I
you
know
talk to
differently.
my ex-husband. Do I seem like that type?
No, no, and your husband, your ex-husband, he's very respectful, and
Yeah,
he doesn't seem, he talked glowingly of you.
yeah.
I don't, I'm like, whatever, I mean, you know, based on him, you pretty much was the perfect wife. So, you know, so you know, people have this
I
idea, and they
won't say I
want,
was the perfect wife because clearly we got divorced, um but were we horrible to each other? Like super horrible? No.
right, honest, yeah, not all relationships ended like with disasters, I mean,
Yeah.
but y'all,
I'm just,
but
I'm
y'all,
just
y'all respect one another. That's the point I'm trying to
Oh,
get.
I've you've never heard me talk badly about him on here. Have you ever?
No, for like the past 10 years, I never heard you say anything bad
Not
about the man.
once. No,
See,
no.
yeah. So
So, I mean, this is the thing. I'm not anti-men. I know that as for women to progress, for for the feminist movement to progress, you're going to have men on board that understand the value of a woman. And you don't get to be valued as a woman if you're the type of woman that hates men, wants to destroy men, wants to get rid of men. then you're anti what you're trying to get accomplished.
Right.
Women and men need each other. That's the facts. They need each other in society, and that's the facts. You have to have mothers and fathers for children, and we need each other. That's just what it is as a society.
Yeah.
And to
And go ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because you were about to say
No,
something profound.
no, I don't know about profound, but we need each other as a society, and in order for us to grow and have the type of society that people want to be a part of and not run away and escape from, then we're going to have to work together. That's just the facts.
Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, we have to have mutual respect. And people don't understand what respect really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got one side want to dominate over the other, and you know, and thinking that, you know, and thinking this whole idea should be, I'm a man, I got balls, therefore you do what I say. And you see how these men are on YouTube are, and you know, they have that type of, you know, that's not respect to her.
I mean, you heard my ex-husband. I
Right.
mean, no matter what, I'm a very outspoken woman. That's very clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very outspoken, and I speak my voice.
Right.
However, in the marriage, I did, he ultimately made the decisions. I put my input into it, and then he made the decisions. You heard
Right.
him say that.
Yeah. I heard him say that. Yeah.
So that's working together. But he also wasn't trying to iron fist me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to do what I say or else. Like, that ain't going
Mm,
to that's not going to work with me.
right.
But
Right.
that mutual respect, you have to have that mutual respect, period.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we could accomplish a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of Don Gordito. I know you're irritated with him, but that's an educated man as well. He's raising his child with the same kind of philosophies that I believe in. Do you know what I'm saying? Him and his wife, ex-wife, are co-parenting. They're doing a damn good job. Could people learn from him? Could these manosphere men learn from him? Most likely. Will they learn from him?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But
It's
I did have a conversation with him on the Prophet Dots channel.
You did
Yeah, I had a conversation with him. So
recently?
yeah, like yesterday.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have respect for Don. I have respect for Don because I know where his where his loyalty lies, and where his where the value is, and the value is in raising his child. Like, that is his number one value.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like he said, he co-parents with his son's mother. They're not together, but they co-parents.
Right.
And they've gotten a rhythm down to be able to co-parent respectfully. A lot of men could learn from him. Instead of making child support or visitation with your child be a problem, learn from a man who's got that shit down pat, who can tell you how to make it easy for yourself, make it more beneficial, and to where it's good for the child. I think people forget that the most important thing when you are co-parenting is the child. It's not about each parent, it's about the child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I wish you would have he would be somebody I would tell you to get on here on your panel and have discussions like
That's
that.
but he also said on Fuckboy's channel, he's not coming on my channel.
Okay, but that's because you keep on ragging him when he gets on here about what they're doing. He is not responsible for grown men, Big J. He's not responsible for making them do right. He's not a police officer. He's not a judge from the court. He's none of those things. He cannot make a grown man do shit. The only thing he can do is have a live stream with you or whoever and discuss what's beneficial in a co-parenting situation, because a lot of people can't get their shit together in relationships. Okay. So they are co-parenting. He can give that kind of advice of how to do it. Those are valuable, and those are valuable things that should be actually talked about on here, that instead of those kind of things being talked about, there's nothing but beefing and bullshit.
Right. You're right.
I just wanted to tell you that I'm with you on the educational thing, but I'm in a different I'm in a different mode of where the money should go. I think the money
Right,
should go.
right, right. And you really changed my you really made me amended my focus, because the thing
Mhm,
is, the way I would look at it is here, because I was putting myself in the position of the parent, right?
mhm.
Um of a single parent, and you're in a, you're in the inner city, or a place where it's impoverished, and you're working to a job or two, and you're not seeing a child around. And if there was some incentives for that person, whoever he or she may be, they might be a little bit more, find a way to have upward mobility, if that child would be more successful in their grades, and what may have you.
I'm going to be honest with you.
That's what I was looking at.
I don't think that a lot of single parents have the educate educated skills themselves. I don't think they have the parenting skills themselves. I don't think they have a lot of what it takes. So it's going to take outside forces to help those children to break the cycle that you're speaking of. It's going to take outside forces to be the mentors for those children that can bring those children out of poverty, not create another generation of poverty children or children in poverty, and to teach them how to be successful and teach them how to be um um what's the word I'm looking for, people of I mean people in society that are beneficial to each other. So in order for that to happen, yeah, the mother, if she's a single mother, is going to need assistance. That's a fact. She's going to need
Right.
assistance. But what child, I'm going to be honest with you, what child is going to want to get straight A's and get nothing for it, and their mother gets it and she can do what she wants with it? No child is going to want that. They're not going to want that.
and,
So
and, and that's why though, when you said that earlier, I was like, you know what, you're right, because a parent could turn around and just take that money and buy a crack rock or something, or now I know I'm going by the worst case
do you
scenario.
know what how that would break a child to see that
Yes.
they worked so hard to get straight A's, right? They
Hmm.
worked really hard to get the A's on their report card, and then their money gets shit away. Like it just gets they don't even get to see it. It doesn't, it's not a benefit for them. So to give the child some money in their own pocket, right? Or let's say that the school has a store, and the store, they can buy toys, they can buy personal items, like like if the child is going home, the mothers or whoever they're living with doesn't provide like sanitary products because they're just not doing it, the child can take some of the money or whatever and go to this store in the school, buy toothpaste, buy soaps, buy shampoos, buy tennis shoes maybe, or whatever the case may be, right? They can get
Hmm.
the money to help them take care of themselves so that they can come back the next day nice and clean with, with decent clothes, right? So they don't feel embarrassed, clean
Right.
clothes. And they also have money being put in the bank for them when they become adults. So they have a little nest egg. So they've gone through school and it's not for nothing. And it makes them want to continue to go to school. It makes them want to continue to be educated because they know at the end of the 12 years of school plus college, they got a nest egg.
That, you know what, Fury, you're right. You're right. The way you put it, you're right. Because if you gear it towards the student, that student would, you know what? Yeah, because like you would break generational curses, and you would break some of the problems that child might have at home, might alleviate whatever problems after school.
Plus, let me just say this. A lot of parents, when the parents want to help the child with their homework, the parents don't know how to help them. They know nothing about the schoolwork. So there's going to need to be, in this socialized system for kids, tutors that are paid for from the government to help these children with their homework, to get one-on-one help.
And I don't know. I don't when my niece was in school, they was, you ever heard that new type of math that they came out about around 2008, 2009, something like that, like 2010,
Oh,
something
I'm
like
an
that.
old lady, so I don't know.
No, I'm
I've
sorry.
never been good at math. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Wait a minute, it was around 2013, right? And there was a thing called the STAR test. Texas has that thing called STAR test. It was like I've got one of those exam type tests, the state exam type tests. They call it STARS here. And I'm reading. I'm trying to get her, and I'm trying to get her to me and her mother was trying to get her to look at the math problems, and I'm scratching my head. She's scratching her head. Her own mother scratching her head.
Yeah.
And we were like, that doesn't make any sense, because
I'm gonna be honest, I could not help it. I could not help not even what do you call it, middle school child with their math problems, because the way that things have advanced, that's out of my realm. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah,
So
like simple algebra. Like,
yes.
okay, like x plus 2 equals blank, right? They
Yes,
don't do that no more. Yeah, they don't do that no more. It's all this complicated formula. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
But there's no way
There's
no way to meet the scientific market in the future, because we are advancing ourselves leaps and bounds, and there's no way to get there unless we start making sure that the educational system is a priority. There has to be tutors that can help these students, because these students can't advance and take those. They can't be the new scientists, the new doctors, the new mathematicians, engineers, and whatever, without getting to the point of them being educated to take those jobs. And we're not there.
What I did. And that's what I did. I went in my own pocket and bought a tutor that I used to have.
Right.
And that tutor was like $30 a week.
Yeah.
35. No, wait a minute. It was 30, something like that. It was like $50 a week.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, this is
cheap still,
this is the priority. What kind of society do we want in the future? What do we want for America? Do we want a society that we have to have martial law, lock everything down, and start shooting the citizens? Or do we want citizens that you don't have to really keep an eye on, that are actually self-motivated, have self-autonomy, have a sovereign mindset, to where you don't have to watch them every minute of the day, because they are productive, they are fulfilled, and they are bringing a future life for America. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right, and that's what, that was that video. I gave out a hint on the other live stream talking about
Mhm.
do things, some taking matters in one's own hands. That's I'm
Mhm.
alluding to something, but I ain't let nobody know what my plans
This is
are.
the thing. You complaining with these dudes all day long doesn't change anything. The talk we're having right now might spark interest for people. The days of beefing all day long are over. Now it's time to take action. How are we going to take action? How is our society going to take action? When you get these political candidates, right? So the
Hmm.
things me and you are talking about right here on ground level should be the questions you ask every one of those politicians. What are you bringing to the table for the future of America? How are you helping these young kids get out of poverty? How are you helping them to want to go to school every day? To incentivize them to want to get straight A's, to want to become a very developed human being? What are you doing? What money is being put into them to make us get to that point? Those are the questions you need to ask those politicians.
Okay, okay. Have you received my email?
No, I didn't get it. Let me look for it. Hold on. When did you send it to me?
I think that was like last night. I
Are you
believe,
sure?
because I forward you who I'm planning on interviewing,
Oh,
and that
okay. Is it
person sent
secret
me.
right now?
Yeah. I'm putting a secret right now because I don't want nobody to know
Okay, okay, okay.
who who I might be. Because it's still in the planning stage.
Mm-hmm.
The person did send me a reply.
Mm-hmm. Are they thinking
So
about doing it?
yeah. If you want to jump on board with it,
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure. Because I'll
yeah,
ask those
yeah.
questions.
Because I actually told you in the email, I want you to be on board if you wanted to. So
Yeah, let me hold on one second, Big J. Let me see if I can still get back to this. Are you
what
there?
no, don't check just check on it later. You don't have to.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
check on
okay,
it later. But
okay.
yeah, but I'll forward you an email, and I'll forward you
I wouldn't
that
even
person
waste
from.
my time. Like the Faulkner Initiative, like I've heard him talk. I've heard Cerulean Gray talk. I have respect for those two men. I have respect more for Cerulean Gray,
Cerulean,
right?
yeah. I have respect for Cerulean,
I
yeah.
do too. I do too. Does everything he say do I think is a go? No, but at least he's got his mind open to making things better in society.
Right. But like one of those two men is running for office.
Well, then it would be
And it's
good
not and
to
it's not the one though. Well, this but anyway,
you can tell me
y-
another time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think another time, yeah, like he's running for office in Baltimore. So
I
uh
mean, we need
he
change.
actually
I mean,
yeah, but
what we have so far in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party ain't getting shit and done. It ain't.
right.
It's a selfish. Those are two selfish parties. All they care about their own personal interests, their own personal pockets. They're not for the fucking American people. They're not making changes in the American government, and they're not doing anything that's better for anybody. It's the same old bullshit from both
Mhm.
parties. We need something different.
Yeah, and that's partial reason why I didn't go hard on the authors of the Grave Faulkner Initiative, because at least I can respect. I have anybody that sit there and put out some policy down like we want this, this is how it's gonna work. I respect it, even though I just totally disagree with it.
I mean,
E-
even
Even
if it's an inch, even if it takes us an inch further than where we're at right now, is better than nothing.
right, and that's why I can't really knock them. I disagree
Right,
with them,
right.
but I can't knock
Hmm.
them. I got to sit and say, hey, at least they're not talking about hair weave and women ain't shit. No, they
Listen,
put
all
out
this
the
all this
formula.
garbage that I'm seeing on YouTube right now, it's garbage. Did I make a video about like because uh Johnny Depp and what's her face? Something
Amber
Heard. I
Heard.
think Amber
Mhm.
Heard. Like that shit's all bullshit too. They got into this relationship. It is what it is. You know, I feel sorry for Johnny Depp. I'm not going to lie. But there's something that can be learned about this, because the feminist movement can't keep bailing these dumb bitches out. I'm sorry. But the feminist movement is not moving in the correct direction. And when you keep making, you know, excuses for women that are narcissists, when you keep making excuses for women that are a detriment to society, and you keep shielding and protecting them, I'm not on board with that shit. I'm not. Women like what's her name again?
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. Women like Amber Heard should not be protected. She needs a spank. I'm sorry. She needs what the court system can give her, because that bitch is crazy. She took a big shit in.
No, okay, now
Listen.
that no, go ahead, because you were talking about like when she took the dump in his bed while he was leaving.
She got in a fight with him. He left. Before she went to this thing called Coachella, she squatted on his side of the bed and took a big ass shit. You know what that says about her personality?
She's nuts. She's crazy.
She's not just crazy. She's vindictive as fuck.
Right.
So women like her should not be shielded by the feminist movement. She's the type of woman that's going to set the feminist movement back, because the women that are legitimately beaten, the women that are legitimately abused, the women that are violated are not going to be, they're not going to be protected. They're not going to be protected. She's setting the whole women's movement back, and the feminist movement need to cut women like her out. Women that have murdered their children, women like her that have done these kind of vile shit. There's a reason why there's a women's prison system. The women's prison system is for narcissist, crazy bitches like that. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And the feminist movement need to stop fucking shielding and protecting those type of women, when there's actual women that are victims.
Have you saw the video of her chopping his finger off?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, wait a minute. You hadn't seen that video?
No.
Oh, okay. There was a video of him crying, right? Well, he wasn't really crying, but he was in agony.
Yeah.
And he was calling, I think there was a voice recorder on or something like that. He was calling for a doctor, and he said, "You chopped my fucking finger off." And you hear in the background, "You damn right I did."
I mean, she's in the background talking about how she was punching him or hitting him, and I didn't punch you. Quit being a pussy. Okay, well that's fine. You know, I'm sure yeah, he's getting hit, but like, is it something that he's not handling? He's handling it. He's making sure he leaves you alone, which he should have been done. But let me just say this: he's not innocent in the whole situation, because he cheated on his wife to be with this woman. So he made his bed and he lied in it. Unfortunately, he suffered because of it. But women like her don't get passes, and I'm tired of the feminist movement protecting women like her. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of them protecting women like her, when there's women out there that literally are fucking in abusive relationships and being murdered daily, and nobody's fucking the voice for them women.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you heard it already. Disney was trying to hire him to play Jack Sparrow again for the next Pirates of the Caribbean. He actually declined it. He told them to fuck off, because they would, because ever since that Amber Heard tape came out, when she was accusing him of doing all this, Disney turned around and fired him, blackballed him for a couple of years.
No, I know, but I mean, the tables are turning. However,
yeah,
is this a lesson that Johnny Depp learned from? I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. So,
but what I have a problem with is the feminist movement shielding women like her. They shield women that have, like the woman that ran her kids into the fucking river. and she acted like she was some black man stole her car and
I
killed her
remember
kids.
that. That was like that was in what state was that? That was I
I
think
don't
that was
remember.
Tennessee. That was like Tennessee or
But the point is that I'm tired of the feminist movement shielding liars. I'm tired of the feminist movement shielding narcissist bitches. I'm sorry. I'm tired of them doing that. I'm tired of them not stepping up and actually protecting the women that need to be protected.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I made that video. You know,
Right.
this is a teachable. This should be a teachable moment for the feminist movement.
Right.
But I got a lot of ideas. I got a lot of ideas about making, our society better. Will we do it? Are we going to invest back into the people? I don't know. Where's the priorities?
And like I was talking with Queen Mayat. It's impossible talking to her anymore. I was talking to her on Kelly Ray's live stream earlier, about a couple hours ago, and I was telling and everybody say why is there so many problems and people not really addressing it. I said this: there is no vision. There is people don't have vision. That there is no visionary people around. Those people have been taken out. People who have visions to change society, those people are no longer part of governing. When I mean government, I ain't talking about being in government per se, but religious wise, social wise, government wise, scientific wise, those visionaries are no longer around. We just, it seems though, and I said this ever since Watergate, I think society has taken out their visionaries. There is no JFK. Well, actually, I'm a Bobby Kennedy. I'm a fan of Bobby Kennedy, right? Somebody like that, somebody who has vision. There is no
Anybody that has
Malcolm X or
vision
Martin Luther King.
nowadays,
Yeah,
anybody that has vision nowadays should never align themselves with either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. A visionary should be its own party. A visionary that wants to have or knows how to combine different system structures like socialism, capitalism, and things like that, they have to understand what needs to be done. And visionaries should never align themselves with two parties that are going out the fucking door.
right. I actually, I've been noticing that. I mean, it's like people are in a very, it's like trench warfare. Like people's
Yeah.
not, it's like people holding the ground, but they're not advancing to achieve a goal. And
Well, I
that's what
mean,
I see
nothing's
stagnation.
advancing. Nothing's advancing because you got greedy politicians who just want to get paid by big corporate businesses, and the corporate businesses don't want to put back into society. Now they want those scientists, they want those, those engineers, they want all those people that can produce for their companies. However, they don't want to put the money in to bring up the next generation that comes up to work for them. They don't want to put in the fucking money that it takes to invest in those type of employees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got a problem.
Yeah. I remember. I shouldn't be saying this publicly, but I remember I wrote a plank. I joined a certain political party back in 2016, and I wrote a plank for because what happened to Sandra Bland, what happened in Trayvon Martin, and so forth. So I created a civil rights bill for the state of Texas, and where to make sure the police don't do this, that, and third, and the no knock warrants, all that stuff, right? I can't believe that people who call themselves for quote unquote diversity turn around and slam me for that. And I'm like, wait a minute, you for diversity, you for quote unquote human rights, but when I bring a plank for human rights, I get denied. Now, half the people kind of loved it. They're kind of like, oh, I see where you're going at. The other people's like, nah, I ain't feeling it. And one
I
one
mean,
one guy,
that's
yeah,
where we need to be on page and understand that this is not a racial issue. This is not a religious issue. This is none of those things. It's what do we want as a society as a whole, because everybody's going to believe their own spiritual things. They're all going to
mm-hmm,
believe, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're living in a very multiracial environment and cities and neighborhoods. So to be racist and not allow inclusivity, to not allow that, that's thinking in the dark ages. Like, if you want to have progression, you're going to have to understand we're all going to be working together. We're all going to be working in jobs and fields and things like that with other races of people, people who have different spiritual beliefs, people who have different religious beliefs. And you have to be accepting and allow people to be who they're going to be, as long as it's not damaging the community as a whole. Like, you're not out there shooting somebody because they don't believe what you believe, or they're not the same
mm-hmm,
skin tone as you. Do you know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying?
Right,
So
right.
we're going, this is the progression. This is the progression. So are we going to be a mature enough society to allow ourselves to be inclusive? Because the only way to the next step and to have justice, peace, and unity and fortune and prosperity is to be inclusive. And once you get to that point, then you can start saying, okay, well, this amount of money needs to be allotted to these children. It doesn't matter what race, it doesn't matter what religion. This money needs to be allotted to them for educational purposes. This money has to be allotted to them for their future, their nest egg. This money needs to be allotted to them now, especially if they're a child that has, you know, they're living in poverty, their parents aren't well educated, cannot educate them. There needs to be tutors. There needs to be people to help to actually fill put back into these children what you want society to be in the future. So are
Mm-hmm.
we willing to go there? That's the whole thing. Is everybody, no matter what race, no matter what religion, are you on the same page? Is this the kind of future we want? Do we want to make sure that no matter if you're Black, white, Asian, Native American, Hispanic, Mexican, you know, whatever the case may, from the Middle East, from Europe, or wherever you're from, right? You
Right.
want to have those children to be on the same page. You want them to be a positive for society as a whole, not a future thug that's going into the prison system. So where are our priorities? That's all I'm asking. Where is
Right.
everybody's priority? What do you want to do? Do you want to spend a little money now, make sure children are brought up properly, educated properly, fed, nourished, or what kind of system do you want?
It's kind of like it's kind of like this adage. And I don't know if you ever heard this. You probably heard of this. You ever heard of the thing, health is wealth? So
Yeah,
yeah. So if we like somebody told me, because um if
sorry,
like
son.
you buy you pay early first before you pay it. How it's kind of like make sure you eat your vegetables, because you get strong, you have a better health rather than
Yeah,
paying
like
it.
Popeye with
Yeah,
spinach.
yeah. So I mean, it's we need to start having that type of mindset of paying things now than paying it later, because when paying it later is not going to be
This is what
beneficial to
people,
society. You
because
go ahead.
I've heard people that are in their middle ages say, I ain't got no kids. Why am I paying taxes for schools? Do you want to pay taxes for schools, or do you want a motherfucker breaking into your window at night while you're sleeping and slit your fucking throat? What do you want? You tell me.
Right, 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 right. And I hope people's minds has changed though. Um, you know, in that aspect.
Mhm.
But anyway, Pierre, I appreciate you for being
No, I
coming
appreciate you
on.
letting me come up, Big J,
Oh yeah.
because when you were saying that, it just made me, it sparked my thought process of what I think people need to be aware of, because there's much more important things to be thinking of.
You know, and what you just said made me want to revisit what I said in
Mhm.
that earlier video,
Yeah,
and try to redo some of it, because I was looking at it from the aspect of the parent, not on the student, because it's a
yeah, but
student
what
it's a student
student?
that's be more successful. It's a student
That's like
that's
that's
gonna have
that's like slavery. You're basically making a slave situation. You're making the child be a slave to the parent, when
right,
if the parent isn't filling that child up with what that child needs in the first place, what child is going to want to go to school and get straight A's when the money's going to the parents?
right though. So I appreciate you for coming on, and because you really made me realize that what I said need to be revisited and revamped,
Mhm.
because because like you actually revealed there are holes in my argument.
Mhm.
And because they're holes in argument, now I see what you're coming from now. Yeah, because students need to be need to be supported. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna revisit it, and um, let me go back to my old computer, and because I did a um document of what I planned out. I have to go on my other computer and find that document and revisit it.
Yeah.
You know, it's been that file been quote unquote collecting dust. Hadn't opened
Yeah.
that file in months, I mean years
And
though.
these
So
are, because you do get political people that want to take political office. These are a lot of the questions you need to ask them. What
right,
are you willing to, what are you wanting to do with society? Forget the fucking corporations, but what are you trying to do for society to make it better? Because that's the
right,
whole point of going to politics.
right.
All right,
But
Big
anyway,
J.
all right
Can you
then.
boot
I
me off?
appreciate.
Can you boot me off? Because I don't have a button.
Okay, hold on. Let me remove you. And if you get my email,
I'm gonna look.
all right then. All right then. I'm gonna
Okay.
remove you. So, oh, I'm sorry. You
That's
said,
okay. No, I said thank you, Big J. Just boot me off though.
okay. All right then. All right. Take
Okay.
care then. All right then. I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you, Pure Butterfly, for reminding me of an error in my idea, and I might have to. I'm going to have to revamp my ideas, and I'm gonna look at every one of them and revamp and update them. So anyway, let me get off of here. Like, share, subscribe, and donate at buymeacoffee.com/BigJ if you want to / and yes, I'm a get off of here. See y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.